Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, Lalabarina 23. Thanks for the suggestion, Lalabarina. You asked, why is April 1st the official day for pranks? Great question. Every year, April 1st rolls around, and suddenly, nothing can be trusted. Your friend says you won the lottery? Probably fake. Your boss says you're getting a raise? Definitely fake. Your mom says you were adopted? Well, hopefully fake. But who actually decided that one day a year should be dedicated to deception? And why do we all just go along with it? Today, we're uncovering the weird, confusing, and downright ridiculous origins of April Fool's Day, right here on Explaining Everything. Here's the first thing you need to know. No one really knows how April Fools started. It just exists, like glitter in your carpet. It's been there forever, and no one remembers how it got there. But there are a few leading theories. The most popular one blames the calendar. Back in the 1500s, France switched from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar because Pope Gregory XIII decided it was time to mess with everyone's schedules. Before the switch, New Year's was celebrated at the end of March. But after the change, the official New Year moved to January 1st. Some people, either because they didn't get the memo, news traveled really slow back then, or because they were just those people who resist change, kept celebrating New Year's in April. The rest of society, being the mature adults they were, decided to mock them. Allegedly, these April Fools became the first prank victims. People would stick paperfish on their backs, which was apparently peak comedy in the 1500s. But here's the problem with this theory. There's no actual proof that it happened. It's just a story people repeat, like Bigfoot sightings or that one uncle who claims he almost made it to the NFL. So let's move on to another possibility. If you ever need an explanation for something weird, just assume the Romans were involved. And guess what? They probably were. The Romans had a festival called Hilaria, which literally means Day of Joy, celebrated in late March. It involved dressing up in disguises, playing tricks on people, and just generally causing chaos. It was basically ancient Rome's version of April Fools, but with more togas and fewer lawsuits. Historians think this tradition may have evolved into modern-day pranking. But then again, the Romans also thought throwing people to lions was entertainment, so their idea of funny might have been a bit different. If the Romans weren't responsible, then maybe medieval pranksters were. Europe had a festival called the Feast of Fools, where people switched roles for a day. Peasants acted like nobles, nobles acted like fools, and everything was turned upside down. It was basically medieval Freaky Friday, except with way more jester outfits. Then there's the theory that April Fools came from renewal festivals, which were common in many cultures. These were days where normal rules didn't apply, pranks were encouraged, and the world got a temporary reset button. So did April first evolve from one of these traditions? Maybe. Or maybe humans have always enjoyed messing with each other. By the 18th century, April Fools had gone global, especially in Britain, where people loved dry humor way, before the invention of sarcasm on Twitter. In Scotland, they took things even further with a 2-day event called Untitled Day. The first day involved sending people on ridiculous fake errands, and the second day focused entirely on butt-related pranks. Yes, you heard that right. It was a national holiday dedicated to backside jokes. Fast forward a few centuries, and corporations decided to jump in on the fun. Now, every April 1st, companies try to outdo each other with fake product announcements, like Google's Google Nose, a search engine for smells, or Burger King's left-handed Whopper, which tragically doesn't exist. At this point, April Fools is an international tradition. Spain actually celebrates its prank day on December 28th. So if you're ever there on April 1st, go ahead and prank your friends. They'll just think you're being weird. You'd think after centuries of pranks, we'd all be more suspicious on April 1st. And yet, every year, people still fall for fake headlines, ridiculous announcements, and, worst of all, fake lottery tickets. Why? Psychology. Our brains are naturally wired to trust people. When someone tells us something, we assume it's true unless there's a reason to doubt it. That's why when your friend says, "Hey, your shoelace is untied," you don't think, is this a setup? You just look down like a fool. Also, humor plays a huge role. A good prank isn't just about tricking someone. It's about making them laugh after they realize what happened. That's why fake job offers, not funny, but putting googly eyes on everything in your office, hilarious. So, why is April 1st the official day for pranks? Short answer. Nobody really knows, but people have been messing with each other for centuries, so we just rolled with it. It could be because of a calendar mix-up, or the Romans throwing toga parties, or medieval pranksters with too much free time. But in the end, does the reason really matter? What matters is that it's tradition, and tradition is never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, subscribe, and if something sounds too crazy to be true, maybe check the date, because it probably is. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.